Hi, I'm Amber from Amber's Craft Week blog, and welcome back to the Hay Day Challenge, wherein we go through different pages of the book Hay Day and do little activities related to them. So for the January 5th episode, you see I marked this one with a little sticky note, which means that when I was a kid I thought this was really cool. Today it's about traditions. You need a tradition, something that is all you. Now here's how to make your own. Spend some time alone and think of stuff you find extra special cool. Celebrating the anniversary of the day you got your pet, watching cartoons every Saturday morning, going to the park every third Tuesday just to smell the flowers, running Valley Girl every 4th of July. Whatever your funny quirk is, make it special by deeming it from this day forward your tradition. Name it and share it with all of your best friends. Think, a few years from now when someone asks you, what the heck did we do 2 years ago on Elvis's birthday? You can say, well, every year on Elvis's birthday, I wake up early and read my favorite book from front to back before everyone wakes up. Make your tradition today and stick with it forever. Traditions are rad. And then the authors have a couple of their traditions below. So, Clea always watches Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory and eats deli platters on Christmas Day. It's a tradition. Kiva invites a few pals over to La Bodega on the July 4th to lounge about in the sun and test out the latest beauty tips in the teeny mags. It's a tradition. So today we're going to be creating our own tradition. So to create our tradition, I went online and looked up some January holidays, and it turns out January 22nd is National Blondie Brownie Day, which is convenient because I have here Brian's Brownie in a Mug recipe mug. So the front side has this adorable brownie and ice cream image, and then the back side has a brownie in a mug recipe. And so we're going to see if we can modify his brownie in a mug recipe to make a Blondie brownie. If you like this mug, he's selling it in his Etsy store, so I'll link to that in the description below. Alright, now let's get started. Alright, so to make this brownie in a mug recipe mug, we're going to need a few different things. We're going to need some white hot chocolate. We're going to need a mug. We're going to need some water, which I'm just going to get from the tap so it's not shown here. Some vanilla, butter or oil, I'm going to use butter, and some bread flour. We're also going to use some ice cream and some caramel sauce for toppings for our brownie. Now this recipe calls for a tablespoon of melted butter, so we're going to go ahead and add a tablespoon of butter to the mug and then melt it in the microwave. Alright, so now we're going to do things a little bit out of order since we're using melted butter. I melted it in the mud already, but usually you'd want to combine the dry ingredients first. So we're going to combine the flour and hot cocoa mix. So the hot cocoa mix I have weighs 35 grams. And we need tablespoons. And so rather than measuring things out, I just went online and I looked for a conversion between grams and tablespoons. And 35 grams is about 2.7 tablespoons, so not quite the 3 that we need, but we're going to go with it anyway and just pour all the hot cocoa mix into our brownie mug. So now that we've got the hot cocoa in there, the next thing we need is some flour. And we also were out of regular flour, so all we had was bread flour, so we're going to use that and hope that this works. But we need 2 tablespoons of flour. Now we already have our oil substitute in there. We have our butter in there, so we need to add some water and some vanilla. So I'm just going to grab some water from the tap. And then we need to add our 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. From here we're going to mix until smooth. And that's looking pretty smooth. So that's what it looks like right now. So our next step is going to be to microwave for about 100 seconds. The time probably varies depending on your microwave, so you may have to microwave it a little more or a little less depending on your microwave. And so here we have our brownie in a mug brownie. And so to finish this off, we're going to top with some ice cream and some caramel sauce, and then we'll see how it tastes. Now for ice cream, I am using Gifford's French Vanilla, which if you're from Maine, you may be familiar with. If you're not, if you're ever in Maine, definitely try Gifford's ice cream because it's really good. Not sponsored, I just love their ice cream. So we're going to add a nice big scoop of French vanilla. And then lastly, I'm taking some of this Mrs. Richardson's sea salt caramel sauce, and I'm just going to drizzle it over the top. So we're just going to take this and kind of try to drizzle it over, maybe just let it all kind of glop over, but add some caramel sauce. So now comes the moment of truth when we find out how our brownie in a mug tastes. Now it may be very hot when it comes out, so you do want to be careful when you eat it. Not bad. Really, it's pretty good. The brownie itself is maybe a little less sweet than I prefer, which is probably because of the hot cocoa mix that I used. So you could always try adding a little bit extra sugar if you wanted to, if you want it a little sweeter. But with the ice cream and caramel sauce on top of it, they give it a very sweet taste as it is, so it doesn't really detract. Definitely think I'll try this again. Enjoy your brownies in a mug when January 20th, or Blondie brownies in a mug when January 22nd arrives. I'm sure you could do regular brownies too if you don't like the Blondie brownies, but if you want one of these mugs which has a cute picture on the front, convenient brownie recipe on the back, then head on over to Brian's Etsy store, Wait & Designs, I'll link to it below, and get your very own brownie in a mug recipe mug. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you have any unusual traditions, let me know in the comments. This brownie tradition we're starting isn't even the weirdest of my traditions, so if you follow my craft blog for a long time, you may have noticed that I do zombie themed things for Valentine's Day. So that's one of my traditions that's maybe a little bit odd. But if you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more videos in the Heyday series, then please consider subscribing. If you like crafts, you can head on over to my craft blog, amberscraftweek.blogspot.com. And have a great day.